Make sure to check out my Patreon for exclusive videos never before seen on YouTube. And don't forget to also check out the memberships on my channel page to join and gain access to perks and see videos early. Make sure to click the subscribe button and hit the bell and be notified of new videos. All the support goes to the production of the channel for better content. Now let's get into the video. What's going on, you guys? Majordragon here. Now, you guys saw from the title of the video and the thumbnail, this is a very special video. As you guys may have not noticed, we have reached 10,000 subscribers. I've said it before in a couple of videos ago, but thank you guys. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. This is a goal that I never thought was even possible, but you guys have just blown me away with how fast that we've reached that goal. When I first got 1,000, I was so ecstatic, and I made my video. You guys are the reason that has given me motivation in my life, and I know that sounds cheesy, but this is honest. The comments that I read every day, and to help people, and to see that you guys enjoy this content, I mean, it absolutely, mentally, it really helps me out, and I'm so happy that I have this channel, and I have a great community behind it, because you guys are part of the Majordragon forces. You guys are part of the Saiyan Empire, the Saiyan Army, and you guys have my back, and I got your back. So anyway, I don't want to keep this as a 30-minute long video of me saying a long paragraph of thank you, but just know, you guys, every single one of you, and I'm talking about you, who is watching the video right now, you, holding your phone, looking at your computer, on TV, thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Just know that Ryan is really appreciative of what you guys have done. I truly appreciate it. Also, before this special What If starts, yes, this is one part. This is one series, one part. This is something I've never thought that I would be doing, but out of my comfort zone for you guys, and I'm really excited to do this. Now, as you guys may have noticed here on the front of the thumbnail and my original character was made by Lag. You guys can see all of his stuff right there, his channel. Please go subscribe to him, please, and show him some love and support. Let's try and get him to 4,000 subscribers. I know you guys can do it. Go show him some love and support. Without Lag, I would not have a lot of things. He's had my back since the beginning. He's a cool dude, amazing artist. I mean, he's one of the best artists I've seen, and really cool to work with. We are working on a custom YouTube banner as well. He's hooking me up with that. But I really do appreciate it. So yeah, check his channel out if you do want to get some art commissions in. He's very cheap for great art, by the way. Check him out on Discord. There's his Discord stuff. Go add him and ask for some art commissions. It would really help him out. And just thank you guys so much. And I'm sure Lag will definitely say thank you too. So go check Lag out, guys. Show him support. If you guys want help to make original characters for Dragon Ball Z or for General or to do art, go check Lag out. He is the man with making original characters, hand-drawn, amazing art and color palette. Go check him out. Now, before this video starts, let's get to 20,000 subscribers. Now, let's get into the video. The events will be taking place when First Form Frieza would be arriving at planet Vegeta. A lot of the events would actually go the same here, considering the fact that Bardock did send Goku away, Vegeta was on another planet, and of course, Frieza would then still blow up the planet while Bardock tried to destroy it. But on another part of the universe, on a very mission that was far away, there was another Saiyan. Now let's just nickname him Dragon. Now, Dragon here was actually an elite Saiyan, as he was actually stronger than Vegeta. Now, the reason why is because this character, he has fought and trained for what he's earned. Now, he's a very respected Saiyan, and he's also the only other Saiyan that we know that can actually turn into a Super Saiyan. Now, a lot of you guys are wondering, well, why hasn't Dragon here attacked Frieza, or why hasn't he, kind of became the king of the Saiyans? Well, because he still does respect King Vegeta either way, and he doesn't want the title of a king. He is a ruler, and he does rule over a squadron for being an elite Saiyan. He does have a squad with him, and he does lead a pretty good chunk. Now, he is one of Frieza's top men. Frieza likes him more than Vegeta, because obviously Frieza hated Vegeta. Everybody knows this. But he was actually cool with Dragon. Of course, he hated that he's a Saiyan, so he lied to him and told him that planet Vegeta was destroyed by a meteor. Now, of course, he would believe that, as he wouldn't think that Frieza would kill it. Same with Vegeta would believe it as well, but of course, we all know that Vegeta knows that deep down that Frieza did it. Now, most of the events of Dragon Ball would actually go the exact same. Of course, with Goku, meeting his friends, fighting bad guys, that would all happen the same. Now, all up until when Raditz was actually murdered, this is where some things are going to change. Now, Dragon would actually meet up with Vegeta, as, you know, they don't really like each other, but they respect each other for both being elite level Saiyans. But Dragon doesn't like Vegeta that much because he always boasts and his ego's really high about how he's the prince and to bow to him. He doesn't bow to anyone. Now, in terms of power level wise, we'll get into that very shortly. But now Vegeta states that Raditz was actually killed by another Saiyan on planet Earth called Kakarot. Now, Dragon was, of course, kind of surprised, but wasn't at the same time. Raditz was not that insanely strong, so he wasn't really anything special. Now, of course, Vegeta states that him and Nappa are going to go to Earth so they can go figure out this Dragon Ball situation, and maybe they can go against Frieza or do something. Now, of course, Dragon is still kind of loyal to Frieza, though he doesn't like Frieza, but he's still loyal to him. So he'll tell him, do whatever you gotta do, but I'm not a part of that, as Frieza has me going on another mission, heading over to this planet, or whatever it's called Planet Namek, which is what Frieza was going towards anyway. So Dragon would actually arrive with Frieza, and they would arrive on planet Namek. Now, of course, he would be tasked with taking out Namekians and collecting the Dragon Balls. Now, back on Earth, the same exact fight happens, Goku would still beat Vegeta. Now, and of course Nappa was killed as well, all that would go the same. Now, arriving to Namek is when obviously Krillin and Gohan, they would then fly around to go in search of the Dragon Balls. But this time, Frieza does have a man by his side, and that is of course Zarbon, Dodoria, and Dragon. But now Dragon here, he doesn't like Zarbon or Dodoria. Now, of course, Vegeta is there as well. Now, Dragon was actually surprised that Vegeta was taken in such bad shape. He would actually ask of him what happened. Now, Vegeta wouldn't really want nothing to say to him. He would just say that there was a Saiyan on Earth, blah, blah, blah. And Dragon would then kind of maybe make fun of him a little bit, saying that, oh, so you lost to a low-class Saiyan. That's kind of funny. Now, of course, Frieza would then tell Dragon to fly off and figure out where more of the Dragon Balls are, and basic things like that. Now, the difference here is that with Dodoria and Zarbon being killed, Frieza would not call the Ginyu Force because he does have Dragon. Now, Frieza knows Dragon's power. He knows that Dragon, he doesn't know that he's a Super Saiyan, but he knows that his base power level is very strong. And Frieza respects that because he's been loyal to the very end. Frieza would not kill a great asset. Though he is afraid of the Super Saiyan, but Frieza thinks that he has him brainwashed enough to where he doesn't need to worry about that. Now, when Goku does arrive, by the way, they do collect the Dragon Balls. Most of the stuff would happen the same here. Vegeta would still break into the ship, break out, and after Zarbon did attack him in his transformed ugly state, Vegeta would then still break out and still throw the Dragon Balls. So Dragon would actually be going after Vegeta to try and find him, but Vegeta here can sense energy without a scouter, while Dragon can't do that. Now, Vegeta can suppress his energy too, which Dragon can't kind of find, so Vegeta's able to avoid him. Now, cutting into where the Ginyu Force would be, this is where a lot would actually change. Frieza would then send Dragon out to go find these Saiyans, which they would. Now, of course, Dragon would then arrive with a couple of Frieza soldiers, and they would take the rest of the Dragon Balls and leave back to Frieza's ship, as he will handle these Saiyans. Now, of course, they've never seen another Saiyan before, especially Krillin and Gohan. They're surprised that there's more. But now Vegeta would then tell them, saying, don't hold back against this being. He's an elite level Saiyan. He's not a weakling. Now, Dragon would then smirk and tell him, Vegeta, you're still as cocky as you've ever been. But alright. Now, of course, Vegeta would go first, as he's flexing off his new power, having a power level of around 30,000, very similar to the original. Now, Dragon's here's base power is actually above that, but we'll get into that very shortly here. Now, Dragon would begin his fight with Vegeta, and it would be a pretty interesting battle. Vegeta would then use attacks and everything else, but Dragon would be able to avoid most of these attacks and tank them like they're nothing. Dragon here has a base power level of, I would probably roughly say in the 100,000s. So 100,000 plus. He's actually a little bit stronger than Goku is in his base form. Now, before you guys attack me, this is my character, alright? You're going to see what I'm going to do with him, so leave me alone, okay? Now, all up until Goku arrives, Vegeta's been getting his butt whooped the entire time. Gohan would get angry and try and attack him. Dragon would then come in saying that, oh, so these half-breeds actually get stronger. That's very interesting. Now, Dragon's not a merciless killer. He's a Saiyan, he fights with pride, but he's not heartless. He wouldn't, like, break Gohan's neck or, try and kill Vegeta, because he respects Vegeta as a warrior, but he kind of puts him in his place a little bit, that, like, hey, you're not all the fancy pants and you can walk around with your, like, oh, I'm a prince, so I'm above you. He wants to give him a reality check, and Vegeta definitely gets that. Now, when Goku arrives, this is when things get very interesting. Now, by the way, Frieza does have the Dragon Balls set up, and he did try to summon them, but he doesn't know how, so he would then send some of his men to go find a Namekian to maybe try and figure out how to summon the Dragon Balls. Now, Dragon would actually have his Saiyan blood boiling. He will be able to fight Goku, and he's very excited. Now, he would use his scouter, and it would read that Goku's power level, and Goku will go full power. He knows how powerful he is. Goku's full power will be 90,000, like the original. Now he was actually impressed, as they would begin their battle. Goku was actually impressed by this Saiyan, as he never thought there was another Saiyan, and he's really strong. But luckily, Goku's training was paying off, as the two would be trading blows back and forth, but the Saiyan was holding back. As he would then smirk and his cape would be flowing in the wind, he would then power up to his full power in base, and his power level would shoot up to 250,000. Now, this would actually be the cause of concern for Goku here, as Goku's base power level is only 90,000. Now, luckily, Goku here can use Kaioken. Now, he would then start charging up his Kaioken like before, and his scouter would then beep and start rising and rising and rising. Now, of course, he would say, what? 120,000. What is his technique? He's never seen this before. 120,000, 160,000. It's kept rising and rising and rising. Goku would actually use Kaioken times 4. Which, as you guys know, Goku can most likely use pretty comfortably, as I could even bet that Goku probably at maximum can use times 10. But that's like Kaioken times 4 on his body, it would almost kill him. But I would definitely say that like times 3 to times 4 is not insanity to him anymore, considering that his body adapted to that kind of push and power, and he's way more stronger than he was in the original. Now, during this time, he would actually start overpowering the Dragon. Now, Dragon here would be struggling, but then he would showcase a really interesting technique that he knows. He would then place both of his hands together, and his power level would begin skyrocketing out of nowhere. Now, we do know that in Dragon Ball, there are techniques that boost your power level exponentially. Final Flash, the Thunder Flash that Pikkon used. It's a very similar technique. Now, Goku doesn't know what this is, and his senses just skyrocket, as his power level would then shoot up to 500,000, and he would then fire a special attack that he calls the Saiyan Buster. Now, this attack would then shoot 4 massive ki beams, and almost like an octopus, they would shoot in different directions, heading right towards Goku, and Goku would kind of be in some trouble. Now, Goku would be able to dodge a few of them, but they would then follow his energy, and they would hit Goku full force, and this would blow Goku back into the ground, blowing half his G off, as Goku was actually pretty badly injured. Now, the downside to this is that this attack drains Dragon's energy a lot. Now, he knows that he cannot defeat them right now, as Vegeta got back up. Remember, he was basically given half the Sensu, and on top of Gohan and Krillin having one as well, yeah, it would basically be, they could gang up on him and beat him, and he's not stupid. So he would then run off to go find Frieza, and he was drained and had some battle damage on him. Of course, his Saiyan arm was cracked. He would then swap it out, as then they would work with Frieza to try and figure out the Dragon Balls, of course. Now, a lot of the events would happen the same, with Frieza actually going out on his own, and Dragon would then follow him, and Dragon would follow him to a degree, and then he would go someplace else to, that's 2 times the searching area, so Frieza can find out the Dragon Balls. Now, of course, Goku was in the healing chamber, as we know that then Nail sacrificed himself against Frieza to hold him off. Now, Nail would still barely survive for Piccolo, but we'll get that in a minute. Now, they do summon the dragon. Now, of course, Vegeta would then arrive, as they made the wish for Piccolo to be there, and to arrive using the 2 wishes. So Piccolo would then head towards them, but stopping by Nail, as Frieza was hot on their trail, showing up. Now, how powerful is Dragon now that, now by the way, during this entire event, as this has been, a while, Dragon was able to get a small Zenkai against Goku, as he did go in the healing chamber. There's multiple of them. And he was able to boost up his power, and having a power level around 250,000, not like a crazy Zenkai. You could bump it up to maybe about 350, which is not insanity high, especially at this current level. Especially since Goku went from 90,000 to 3 million in one Zenkai, but that's a different story. Now, I'll bump it to about 350 to 400,000. Now, once when Frieza would then arrive, before that happens, Gohan would actually talk to him. And same with Vegeta. As the dragons have turned into stone, they were pushed away. Now, Vegeta would actually tell him what actually happened. That Frieza was the one that actually destroyed planet Vegeta. Now, Dragon thinks he's lying, he's just spitting garbage, trying to trick him. Vegeta states it is true. Why would I lie about my entire species? Frieza was the one that has destroyed planet Vegeta, and he's just using you. He's using your powers just so when he just casts you aside. He's afraid of the Super Saiyan. He'll just cast you aside. Now, with Gohan and Krillin, I do feel like they will kind of change his mind a little bit, as he's been manipulated and tricked by Frieza for most of his life. But now, when they turn around, guess who was there? Frieza himself. And he was not happy that he just lost one of his soldiers pretty much. He saw it. And not to mention too, the Dragon Balls are gone. So he's not the happiest lizard in the universe. Now, from his eyes, he saw that he basically betrayed them. And he didn't immediately attack them and dump the Dragon Balls. Frieza sees Dragon as nothing now. He sees Dragon as basically a worthless scum that has betrayed him. And that he was going to cast him out anyway. That's enough for Dragon to then be kind of on their side. He would look at him and say, guys, listen, I'm not on your team, but we need to team up to fight Frieza here. Now, Vegeta would actually jump in first to start battling Frieza, and Dragon would follow. And now they do know, I know the Saiyans like to fight 1v1, but they know against Frieza they can't. Now, with Vegeta having a power level of around probably 300,000 and potentially higher, the two would actually pretty much overpower Frieza a pretty good amount, teaming up together. Not to mention, too, Dragon knows how Frieza, whenever he has seen him battle, he knows how Frieza fights a little bit. He doesn't have that much skill, but he's been around Frieza longer. So they are able to overpower Frieza, but then Frieza would then showcase his second form, which, as you guys know, Vegeta egged on, which Dragon states, don't do this, are you an idiot? We can barely hold him off now, not to mention you want him to transform. Which I never understood why Vegeta thought that was a good idea. But now Frieza would then go into his second form, and this is when the ass-kicking ensues. Now, Dragon here would actually be badly beaten, and he would actually be stabbed with both of Frieza's horns, going right into his chest, swinging him to the floor. Now, Krillin would actually have the same thing and be stabbed as well, and Gohan would then snap and attack Frieza, as Vegeta was just pooping his pants. He was scared. Luckily, Piccolo would appear, and remember, also, by the way, Dende is there, by the way. I forgot to include Dende, but Dende is there as well. Dende's the same. He's included. Now, Piccolo would actually be there first, and he would kind of tell them, go tell Dende to help heal that Saiyan, and to heal Krillin first. Now, they would do that, of course. Now, Dende was kind of not wanting to heal that Saiyan because he kind of attacked his people, but there is one thing. Dragon never killed the Namekian. He never killed them. He just tried getting answers out of them. And Gohan states that. He said, well, when I've seen him before, he never actually killed any of your family. It's true he attacked them, but he wasn't a cold, heartless murderer like how Vegeta did. Just please, heal him. We need him. Now, Dende would then heal him as he was near death. Now, while Piccolo was busy fighting second form Frieza, most of the fighting would go the exact same, and then Frieza would go into his third form and begin to overpower. Now, as you already know, that this is when some stuff is going to change. Because Dragon was then fully healed, and he would get a pretty beefy buff. As remember, he was just impaled through his chest, his heart, and everything with Frieza's, spiky little things on his head. So he has a pretty high power level. Now, having a power level of, I would roughly say around, 450 or 400,000. Now, with a near-depth Zenkai, I'm just going to state that he probably got around 4 times stronger. So his power level is around 1.8 million, but we can just even it out. Let's just say 2 million exact, just to even things out, make it simple. Now, this is when he has had enough. He was furious. Because now, at this point, Frieza instantly killed or almost killed, basically, Dende, as we know. And he kind of beat down on Vegeta. Now, as you guys know, this is when Goku would arrive. Now, Goku would arrive, and he would want to fight Frieza alone, but Dragon's not having that, as he states, no, we need to fight together against this version of Frieza. Now, Dragon's been with Frieza for so many years that he does know that Frieza does have other forms. Now, he does state that you don't know Frieza like I do. He is terrifyingly powerful. If we are to beat Frieza, we must beat him together. Goku gets that, but as we all know, Goku states, yeah, but I want to see how I can fare against him first. Just a little bit, please. Now, Dragon was obviously deadpanning at this. He's like, are you really trying to fight him by yourself? The fate of the universe right now? Frieza would actually be interested. Frieza says, Dragon, I'll give it to you in a minute, monkey. Let me handle this one first. Now, of course, Vegeta would then laugh and state, you're both a fool. As Kakarot and Dragon here, there has to be Super Saiyans. Look at their power. Now, of course, Frieza would then, obviously like a broken record, he would then shoot a death beam and kill him. Now, Dragon was actually mad because he knows Vegeta. He respects Vegeta as a colleague, that Vegeta was used as a puppet. Same with him. Now, Goku would then bury Vegeta a little bit, and he would kind of give his famous speech to him, and Goku would begin his battle with Frieza. Now, from what we do know, is that most of the fighting would go the same, all up until Frieza started using 50% of his power. Goku started falling off pretty bad. His top G was gone, and he was going to form the Spirit Bomb, but then Dragon came in and state that, listen, there is a power that we can use to take down Frieza. As Dragon knows that this is a new power that he unlocked, and he's afraid of using it as he doesn't know how he's going to act, but he thinks that he can aim this power. Now, his body would then turn golden as well, and his eyes would turn blue, his hair would spike up and then glow golden. As you guys know, the cape would be flowing. He has turned himself into a Super Saiyan. Now, Frieza didn't know what this was, but he would very quickly realize what it is. And he would fly towards Frieza, and kind of like Super Saiyan Goku did, he would start to overpower Frieza. All up until Frieza would then use about 80% of his power. It would actually be a pretty tough battle, as Dragon here has a power level around 100 million. Now, Goku would then charge up the Spirit Bomb, as Dragon was kind of starting to overpower Frieza, but he was starting to lose a little bit of energy. As remember, Frieza, it is true, but Dragon can't sense energy like Goku can. So this does kind of make it more difficult to see him. Now, when Goku has plenty of time to finish the Spirit Bomb, he would then throw it at Frieza, and a massive explosion ensues. Dragon, Goku, and the others would then be on that little island, as they thought that Frieza was dead. But sadly, Frieza's not dead. Frieza would then shoot a death beam right through Piccolo. And now, I know you guys thinking, oh, why not kill Dragon? But for plot reasons, he wasn't hit. And then obviously, Krillin was then picked up and then completely obliterated by Frieza. As Dragon would then watch on, as this was the perfect chance, as then Goku would then transform into the Super Saiyan himself. Now, Dragon had a smirk, and he says, oh, Frieza's screwed now. Now, Dragon would then get up. Goku would then tell Gohan to leave. Now, Frieza was terrified, as he just dealt with a Super Saiyan. Now he has another one? This is not good. And now Dragon would then stand next to Goku. As Goku would then look at him, and Dragon would look at Goku, they would nod, and Dragon would then scream as he would power up into a Super Saiyan himself, as they would then both attack Frieza full force. Now, Frieza here is getting absolutely humiliated, both of them wanting to torture Frieza, as they basically do. Now, Frieza would then charge up a death ball like the similar, and he would then surprise both of them by throwing it right into the planet. That happens the same. Now, Frieza would then go to 100%, and Dragon was going to attack, but then Goku stops him saying, wait, I want us to fight him at his best. As Dragon would then actually agree, saying, well, I got nothing to lose, so let's do it. Now, of course, Frieza would then power up and go 100%. Now, during this time, by the way, the Dragon Balls were used as during their fight that King Kai did to revive the Namekians and then bring them all back to Earth. And pretty much everybody, except for Goku and Dragon, all that happens the exact same. Now, Dragon and Goku will be fighting Frieza. Frieza has no chance here. Alright, he could barely hold off one Goku for 5 minutes, not to mention two Saiyans. But you could say that Frieza just basically they're torturing him and kind of just, fighting him off. Now, Frieza is stronger than Dragon, so he can kind of hold him off. But Goku's the main issue, and double teaming on him. Basically, Planet Namek would be near explosion. And you could say this because Frieza actually used more power than he would before to try and destroy the planet, but he didn't do it, so the planet has less time. So, they would end up killing Frieza, very similar. As Goku was actually going to spare him in the beginning, Dragon would then say, are you a fool? He's never going to change. And Frieza would do just that. Frieza would then try one last little petty attack, trying to blast them. Goku and him would then blast Frieza together, completely destroying them. Now, Goku and him would then fly off to Frieza's ship, but it was too badly damaged. As then, there was one space pod, and both of them ran for it, but only one person can fit. But the Saiyan space pod was about to hit the lava. Goku ran inside of it, as then, well, Dragon then grabbed the space pod, making sure it was in a safe area. And Goku would then be surprised, saying, no, you can get in here. And Dragon say, no, I have accepted my fate. I'll find another way out. And they would kind of have a respect thing for each other, as Goku would then nod and say thank you. And then Goku would then fly off as the planet was about to explode. Dragon would then do one final stream in a Super Saiyan aura as the planet would explode, killing him. Goku would then escape back to Yardrat, as that all happens the exact same. Thus, ending the second only Super Saiyan, leaving Goku as, well, currently, other than Broly as we know, the last full Saiyan. Now obviously Vegeta's alive, so you can kind of say now 2 or 3, including Broly, but a couple of years later, when Goku actually dies from the hands of Cell, about 3 to 4 years later, he would then be in the Otherworld, and he would of course keep his body, but of course be dead. Now he was actually content, as then Goku would then go to the Otherworld tournament and fight the likes of Pikkon, who was an amazing battle, and the other people, but there was actually one champion. And the Red Saiyan cape would be flowing, as it was Dragon once more. And Dragon was surprised that Goku was actually here. Goku would explain what happened, and they would then be ready for a little one-on-one as Goku made it. Now, who would actually be crowned the champion? Now, Dragon's been training relentlessly since then, so he's at the level of Goku currently. Both of them would then smirk and turn Super Saiyan as they would begin a legendary battle. And that is it for this What If, you guys. Thank y'all for watching. I hope you guys enjoy it. I didn't want to drag my character throughout the entire series. I wanted to make it kind of realistic and kind of keep it poetic, as, you know, he's with the past of the Saiyan race. And it is true that he is very powerful. He has Super Saiyan, but I wanted to keep it kind of realistic with Super Saiyan. Now, he couldn't really control it yet until the very end to aim it. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for 10,000 subscribers. But as you guys know, we're at 10,200. Let's get to 20,000 subscribers. Let's do it. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you all later.